Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to honor someone who has made incredible and immeasurable contributions to our industry. With the brutal honesty of Simon Cowell and the steely, determined gaze of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, this woman who is short in stature is a giant in the dairy industry. But don't take our word for it. Marianne Smukowski, this is your life!
Well, I got to know Marianne. We both worked for USDA Dairy Division. You would go to her and she would get you an answer. Maybe it wasn't a preferred answer, but it was the answer that you needed to follow to do your job.
I got to know Marianne through judging many of the contests that the cheesemaker group of Wisconsin puts on. And through the years, there have been more and more women that have judged. But 20 plus years ago, there were only a handful of us.
Well, I first met Marianne at a sensory session that was being held by the Department of Ag, tasting cheeses and butters. She wasn't too impressed with my butter grading skills. And then it turned out that the dairy farmers of Wisconsin were looking at somebody that would do audits of cheese factories. So we ended up hiring her, and it's been a great thing that we did.
Marianne was a co-founder of the Wisconsin Committee for the Assurance of Wisconsin Dairy Product Safety, which resulted in a dairy-specific plant audit that really brought a lot of credibility to the Wisconsin dairy industry.
I worked with Marianne on basically the handbook for artisan cheesemakers that has really become the standard for food safety for people who are coming into the industry and setting up a new business. She sets a higher standard than the industry might set for itself otherwise.
I met Marianne as a student in the HACCP workshop that she had. She's been in so many places. She's worked with so many masters across, Wisconsin and cheesemakers across the U.S. and internationally that you're always learning something new.
When it comes to helping people improve their products, Marianne does not shy away from telling people they have miles to go before reaching mediocre.
Marianne holds our feet to the fire. She's not easy. So I've submitted samples that I thought were pretty good and got back some comments that ultimately ended up being helpful in terms of improving what we make, but at the time were sort of scary.
She had a nice way of telling you when something wasn't up to par, telling you have a very nice plant, but this has to be done or this has to be done.
And she would challenge people, hey, think about doing this. Think about doing this. It might help you.
She combines this, intensity of knowledge and seriousness about food safety with a really playful and sly sense of humor that takes a while to get used to, or at least understand that it's there.
She's a, straight shooter. She will tell it just like it is. She can relate on many different levels because of her broad range of experiences.
Every time that I do training, I start out by saying, I will answer the easy questions. Any of the hard questions will be directed to Marianne.
When it comes to integrity, Marianne believes we didn't come this far to only come this far.
Marianne works behind the scenes on things that you'll never hear about. There's sometimes overzealous inspectors that may have a different opinion on how things ought to look. And Marianne will then be a mediator and step in and say, I think we have to retrain you and not be so zealous.
Things are definitely black and white when it comes to the audit, but being able to take that and still maintain friendships with regulators, with artisan cheesemakers, with large companies, with people from different backgrounds, that's really what drives Wisconsin cheese, and Marianne personifies that.
Marianne has unbending integrity, and so when we're in any kind of situation, you know that she will represent you effectively because everybody knows that they can trust Marianne.
My fondest memory, though, I would have to say is this. Many years ago, During a blizzard, I got a phone call that said Marianne had just delivered her daughter, Lizzie. So I went to the hospital to see her. At this moment, I saw Marianne about as happy as I've ever seen Marianne ever.
Marianne, in years to come, will be recognized for her contributions not only to food safety in the retail environment, but to cheesemakers, the ability for her to connect those master cheesemakers with young and up-and-coming cheesemakers to really elevate the game. Just that level of collaboration, the commitment to education.
She's done leaps and bounds for the dairy industry.
Congratulations, Marianne, on receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award from the American Cheese Society.
You're very deserving, and the Wisconsin dairy industry is much stronger because of your efforts. Thank you again.
Marianne, thank you for your partnership, for your mentorship, and for your friendship. You are simply the best.
Congratulations, Marianne. Thank you for all you've done for cheesemakers in Wisconsin and around the nation, and for your service to ACS. Cheers.
There'll never be anyone else like you, and you're very special. Proud to be honoring you in that way.
Thank you, Marianne, for being a great friend all these years. You're a wonderful person, and it's somebody that I have a great deal of respect for. Your opinions mean a lot.
Congratulations, Marianne. Pleasure to work with you, and plan to work with you in the future also. It's been great.
I didn't think that Marianne was old enough to be getting Lifetime Achievement Awards yet, and I'm still going to give you a hard time when I run into you.
Marianne, congratulations. You know, they couldn't have picked a better person, and we love you. We love what you do, and everything you touch turns into a masterpiece.
Though people all over the world love and respect you, we feel extremely fortunate that you call Wisconsin home. On behalf of the dairy farmers and cheesemakers of our state, as well as the entire dairy industry, we salute you on this well-deserved honor.